Mr Chair, the one government member that did get to his feet and make a few comments needs to be challenged on a number of fronts. First of all, that member said that Labor increased the amount of bureaucracy in the system. Well, we had an electricity commission and it was replaced by an authority, a Security and Reliability Council and other advisory groups. Now, if that's not more bureaucracy, I don't know what is. But that member clearly didn't read the bill. In fact, what the government has done is got rid of the Electricity Commission and replaced it with an authority, a Security and Reliability Council and other advisory groups. More bureaucracy, and that was the member Aaron Gilmore. And furthermore, what he went on to say was that the RMA stopped a number of projects. Well, what the RMA did do under Labor is it did give community groups the right to have a say on developments near them, and I certainly support that. What the government has done, and that member, Mr Aaron Gilmore's government, has done through his streamlining legislation, is it's actually removed the opportunity for some community groups to have a say when they otherwise would have. And that's what that member is actually supporting. So he needs to be challenged on those two issues because I think that he was erroneous in his presentation to the House of those particular issues. But I've got concerns about the authority as well. I've got concerns in terms of its limited scope. I've said previously in the House that the supplementary order paper that I'm bringing to the House is to ensure that the scope of their considerations can be broadened to include environmental sustainability. I don't think that's more bureaucracy. In fact, I think that's more responsibility in terms of the nature and role of what they are there to do. I don't believe that the authority in its current scope is actually adequately equipped with looking at the whole landscape of electricity generation and ensuring that greater leadership is given on that front. Now, Chris Hipkins, my colleague, he raised a number of very good points, especially about the smart grid initiative, and that points to the smart meters, and that points to the other amendment that I've got in my SOP. And I've had a presentation from my own local lines company, Well Energy, and they're talking about smart meters that not only talk to the customer, but they also enable a better management of electricity use across the grid. And in time, this is what the future will look like. I certainly want to endorse the report of the Parliamentary Commissioner for the Environment and what she was promoting in terms of smart meters, and that is the technology that we need to look towards. And I do believe that Chris is absolutely correct in saying that the Minister should give direction on this front, that we should have a smart grid, we should be promoting smart meters, we should start now and not wait. Albeit what we have now are dumb meters, and what we have now are some lines companies like Well Energy, who I believe are taking an innovative and positive step forward in this area because they know what the future landscape will look like. I hope that the amendment that I've put forward will be considered in that light and will be supported because what we know is that consumers do want to be able to regulate the amount of electricity they use by having better information. Some appliances are smart appliances, and we are learning from what's happening in Australia where they are already developing smart appliances, and it will only be a matter of time until those appliances come here into New Zealand. So having a smart meter in the house where a consumer can look at the amount of power that they're consuming and regulate themselves, I think is a good thing, where that information is given back, where the utilisation of energy across the grid can be better managed at another level, I think is all really positive, and it's real-time information that is critical in order to make this a great success. Mr Chair, there have been a number of other matters that have been raised in the House that I think that the Minister needs to take a call on. He's only stood once to respond to some very serious questions that have been raised by members on the Labor team, and they deserve to be answered, but they have not, sadly. In fact,